Another man that continues to fascinate a section of wrestling fans is the man known as Ryback. I don't know if you've seen any of his recent comments.
Well, I thought you were asking because I got a number of tweets and a number of emails when I tweeted him about one of the more recent stupid things that he said. So what is your question about?
This one was sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Jamie Murray in Glasgow, Scotland. I was wondering what your thoughts are on Ryback's recent claim that he could destroy Paul Heyman on the mic. Hold on, I have in a quote here. I guess someone tweeted to Ryback on Twitter, "Thoughts on Paul Heyman? I've always wished the pairing between you and him could have lasted longer." So a fan of Ryback and Paul Heyman, to which Ryback replied, "Paul was a piece of shit and he knows it. I would destroy him with an open mic and no script. He has made a nice career for himself, though, latching on to talented wrestlers."
This guy was he born this way? Is it the gradual degenerative effects of monkey hormones and fucking horse serum that he has injected into his orifices over his lifetime? How can any one human being say so many multiple stupid things that even wrestling fans who would be predisposed to like his fucking big worthless ass just say, what the fuck's the matter with this guy? What I was talking about a minute ago, and then I'll answer this, was he also, I guess, either it may have been WWE itself, it may have been one of the newsletter websites or whatever, just tweeted out, "Who's the greatest wrestler never to be the WWE champion?" or some question like that, so they can do a poll or whatever. And either somebody mentioned him or he just decided to jump into it because he went on this rant about a championship belts. They're just props. Championships are props. He didn't even say the word belts. He's not that smart enough to wrestling to use the word belt. Championships are just props. Nobody wins them. Wrestling is fake. They're just props used to market character. Like, because he's mad because he never won the title because he's a fucking reckless, big, muscle-headed, meat-headed fuck that hurt people, I guess. So now he calls attention to everything that he wasn't good at as being fake and phony, and nobody wins anything, and it's given to you, and it's blah, blah, blah. And he's the one that said everybody should be paid the same up and down the card because they're all entertainers, and he used the word entertainer in this tweet. And I just tweeted back to him, I don't even know what it was, but something to the effect of, "Hey, you fucking disrespectful fat-headed fuck. Just because you think you're a fucking entertainer, try saying that shit around the boys in the locker room 30 years ago and see how your ass had been entertained. Fucking prick." That's the example of people that get in this fucking business. Whatever success they have goes to their head as far as they think they're goddamn movie stars and entertainers rather than pro wrestlers, have no respect for the business whatsoever, and then want to take the piss out of the business to explain why they weren't very fucking good at it and weren't rewarded for it. And if he was such a fucking big star, apparently he's as popular as crotch rot today as in terms of wrestling promotions, because unlike me, I've never heard him say he's retired. Nobody just wants to book his ass. So what the fuck? But anyway, now I think he's fucking drinking Drano if he thinks that in any way, shape, or form he could be in any way more effective or more entertaining or more
or just tear someone down on the mic.
Or then Paul Heyman? The fuck is the matter with this? As Lance Storm once said, as a comparison, that's like trading your house for a tent. No, I don't want Heyman. I'll go with Ryback on the microphone. Jesus, they could shove a microphone up his ass and let him fucking broadcast into his intestinal gas, Heyman, and it would be more entertaining and coherent than fucking Fatback.
That's the one thing I've never heard anyone say about Heyman. I know lots of people who have been pissed off with him or hated him at various points. No one's ever said, you know what, give me an open mic, I'll destroy him.
Yeah.
No one, ever. It's the one thing no one can take away from him is that talent just running his mouth.
Yeah, it's like, fuck that Genghis Khan, but what a physique he's got, right? You get the one thing you can't say bad. Yeah, I've never fucking met this guy and probably never shall. Old Fatbacks. But I don't know what's the matter with him.
We have another quote from Fatback.
Uh-oh.
A guy who didn't he change his name legally to Ryback so he can continue to use it? And then
yes,
he doesn't do anything. He doesn't wrestle anywhere.
But he changed his legal name to Ryback just so that they wouldn't be able to keep him from not using it anywhere.
He said, you see what the Ultimate Warrior did? I'm going to do that. And then he did nothing. But here's this other quote. This was sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Stephen Hunt. I don't recall Jim...
I used to know Stephen's brother, Mike.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
I don't recall Jim answering this. Thoughts on Bitter Ryback being the only one to tweet during Christmas? His tweet? As I've heard, his health isn't great these days, talking about Vince McMahon. Hopefully he can find the strength to overcome so he can witness me kicking his ass.
What? What?
So any thoughts on Ryback wanting to kick Vince's ass? He's not doing well, but I want to kick his ass.
Well, first of all, I doubt very seriously if Ryback will ever be allowed in the presence of Vince's ass, except maybe whenever he ends up desperate and goes back and kisses it, if that's still a thing. And that would accomplish what exactly? That he kicked the ass of a 76-year-old man now, if I'm doing my math right. And I saw something that reported that he had done this in-depth interview with, Joe's podcast and Discount Upholstery, where he said about the offer that he turned down and left the company was like $1.6 million for 3 years. Explain to me who else in the known universe, much less just our solar system, would give this fucking Cro-Magnon slap shit fucking more than $500,000 a year to go out and be a middle card fucking guy. So I think they were being generous, but he thought he was worth more than that. And he wants to beat Vince McMahon up for offering him over $1.5 million to just show up and be one of the boys. It's not like that there was this stone cold Steve Austin waiting to burst out of Fatback. It was what it was. Then, and probably it would have gone downhill as it got old, because those one-trick ponies usually do.
The more I think about it, he really is like the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, Warrior was much more successful.
Yeah, he did the success first instead of the fucking being a greedy fucking obnoxious prick.
But he changed his name so he can continue to use his name, and then he really didn't do much because he priced everyone out of the market. Or he priced himself out of the market, I should say.
Yeah.
And then he started cutting bizarre internet promos on various people in wrestling.
Yeah.
Then eventually they brought him back and he smiled and hugged everyone.
Yeah.
And then he died.
Well, old Fatback's got 2 stages left to go. I wonder if they'll bring him back. And then I wonder, well, he ain't gonna get in the Hall of Fame. You know what? That would kill him. If they announced they were going to put him in the Hall of Fame, he would have a heart attack.